Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unfortunately, I didn't record a proper intro for this video just because my transiting day was very complicated, but I want to walk through how I got to Prishtina from JFK. I took business class with Singapore Airlines, and how I was able to take business class with Singapore was I booked through Air Canada Aeroplan. I had a bunch of credit card points from just traveling over the years. So I booked this 70,000 points, as you can see right here, and 130 Canadian, which was about 90 something dollars at the time, I think like 94. There's my ticket. And then I went to the American Express lounge. I tried to go to the Sapphire lounge. You see the Chase one in the background, but it was just way too busy. And then the cool thing about the Centurion in JFK is that it has a speakeasy. So I went to go get this signature espresso martini. There's our plane. It was a Boeing 777-300. And this is us walking to the plane. Yeah, this is my, I believe, 5th time doing business class using credit card points. In my experience, I definitely prefer going on the international carriers as opposed to the US domestic carriers. And this flight was particularly interesting because it's called a 5th Freedom Flight. And what that entails is the opportunity for an international airline to go through 2 transiting points without their home country. This flight eventually did go to Singapore all the way. But yeah, Frankfurt is used as like a halfway stopping point to get people from the US to Europe and then some. And this is me in the seat. And then me using this hot towel. And at this point, this is when I start recording and talking about the flight. So I hope you guys enjoy and thank you for watching. All right, everyone, we made it. Apologies for the audio here. This is whatever the cabin noise. And then I'm not using the best microphone. This is just a spare one. Anyways, we just took off about 30 minutes ago. It's a pleasant flight so far. I think the meal service starts in a few minutes. The only thing I thought was a little strange, maybe it's just me being a weirdo, but at takeoff, they asked if I could take my headphones off. They said that it's not, there's like some federal requirement that it's like a safety hazard. I don't know. It was kind of strange. Wasn't my hill to die on, but that was the only hiccup, if you want to call it. But, you know, really fortunate to be able to do this. This is a super cool seat. Maybe the nicest one that I've been on. Japan Airlines was really nice. And I might cut some things out too because I don't want to get the flight attendants in the video. I don't think that's very polite to do that. But yeah, the meal service should be starting shortly. I'll show you guys that once it comes. And I'm going to enjoy the flight. I'm watching Star Wars right now. So I will update y'all in just a moment. And then actually, I did want to show this before the meal service comes. They give these little amenity bags. It's from Penhaligon's. I actually use Penhaligon's cologne at home, like my signature cologne, so I really like this brand. But you have to ask these upon request. I'm not sure why Singapore Airlines does that specifically, but we'll do a little unboxing. It's very just bare bones, just a couple of simple things. This is lotion. I feel official. I feel like an influencer doing this. This is facial mist. And then this is lip balm. So, very simple stuff. I thought the inside of the bag was cool. Let's see if I can show it. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Okay, so I had one bite of my dinner, and I was like, I need to stop what I'm doing and record this. It's prawn dumpling soup, so there's an option with Singapore Airlines where you can book the cook, and basically like there's like a specialized menu from I guess a popular chef, and they make specific dishes that you can order on request as opposed to the standard menu. So I looked at this like 2 weeks ago, just browsed like whatever, Reddit and a couple other websites to try to figure out what is best. And this, man, shout out Singapore Airlines. Top of the morning, everybody. We are now descending into Frankfurt. I have about a three and a half hour layover here, so I'm gonna try to find something to do. Maybe get another coffee. I had a coffee about an hour ago, but I'm just really beat. It's been a long week, so yeah, I'm gonna be sticking around in Germany for a couple hours. This has been a great flight. The service was great, the food was great, the seat was great. Was it my favorite? Maybe I'll talk about that later on, maybe once I get settled in, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It was worth the points. Whew. All right, everyone. I don't even know how long I even took to fully transit today. I know I'm getting ahead of myself already. It's been a very anxious day, to say the least. Like I mentioned previously, the flight from JFK to Frankfurt was actually really pleasant. Singapore Airlines was great. The crew, the food, the hard and soft product were just great. And then getting off the plane to passport control, that was really smooth as well. I met a really nice guy. He was like, I've already noticed already, I've met three people, one guy in Frankfurt, and then the first two people I've met here in Kosovo. They're like, oh, why are you here? Is it for military? And I just laugh because when I actually tell them I'm just like coming to see the country and Prishtina, the city, they're just kind of shocked and amazed. The guy around my age that was working passport control in Frankfurt, him and I had a really pleasant conversation. He wished me well. So I thought things were going really well until I went through. Because I flew business class with Singapore Airlines, Star Alliance, which is like United. In this case, it would be Lufthansa and Air Canada. They have lounges at Frankfurt Airport. So I tried to go to the Air Canada lounge right after. So I went through, I guess, like a pseudo security check. And I tried to ask the lady, and there was already a little bit of a language barrier, so she just kind of shooed me off and sent me through the little next center. And I had to go through security, which I thought was really strange, and they made me take out all of my belongings. I haven't done that. I have TSA pre-check. I haven't done that in a couple years, so that was like a kind of a re-culture shock for me. It was just a whole thing. I had liquids in my bag. They like checked me for that. Anyway, that went fine, and then once I finally I didn't even get to the lounge because it was trying to make me go through another passport check. And I was like, I'm not going through another passport check. That's the reason I just got off my plane. So I went through like this little underground corridor. So after I went through the corridor, I actually went up going to the Lufthansa lounge instead because it was just a more convenient place. And when I got there, the lady said that I actually would be better off going not to that one because my flight, and that was the thing, my boarding pass didn't have my gate on it. She said, you need to be in the C concourse to go to the C concourse. And I was like, okay, no problem. And as I'm walking to the C concourse, I read past the original security point that lady made me walk through. And then I asked another guy, I'm like, if I leave this concourse to go to the next one, am I going to have to go through security and passport control again? And he was like, yeah. He was like, you got to do it again. He was like, I'm really sorry. I don't know why they sent you that way. So for 3 times, I had to go through a security and a passport check. Pretty much for no reason. The third time was kind of weird. Like there was this black guy. Like I don't know. He was trying to talk to me, but at the same time, like he was kind of heckling me about my liquids. I don't know what the problem was. They let me take them through, so I don't know why both security checks were making a big deal out of it. And then once I got here, again, things were relatively pleasant. I got through passport control within maybe 15 minutes. I'm getting a lot of stares. I know people don't mean anything wrong by it. I don't take it as like a racial jab. I'm not going to use this channel to talk about like my personal beliefs. It's not really for that. It's just kind of document my experiences traveling. But like my personal opinions, I'm going to try to keep those minimum. But I personally think that I've seen a lot of YouTubers that travel, especially through the Balkans. They assume this kind of implicit bias that when you get stares as a person of color, that people are racist here. It's not true. I mean, I experienced that when I went to like Belgium. It's not a common thing. like in the United States where we have a melting pot of diverse cultures. So stairs aside, got through passport control, and then went out to the main center to go get a taxi. And this is where I personally messed up. I totally forgot that there's like a new version or like their own version Kosovo has of Uber. And I can't remember what it was called. It's like something like Tesla Taxi, and then they have like an actual like taxi app. And I totally fumbled. I forgot to download them, so I'm trying to download them as I'm waiting outside. And then someone approaches me, and I knew how much I wanted to pay. I knew, looking at research, that I wanted to pay 15 euros from the airport to my hostel. That was the absolute most I was going to pay. So then I go outside, and the guy's like, "Oh, where are you going?" And I said, "Prishtina." He was like, "Okay." And I told him, like, immediately fired back, and I was like, 15 euros. He was like, "Okay." He's like, 35. And I heard him say that, and I was like, "Wait." I was like, "I'm sorry, repeat that." And he's like, "Oh, how much you have?" And I was like, "I have 15." And then to his credit, there is a board for the people that wait outside of the airport. It does say 20 euros. But even then, he was like 35, and then he was like, "I'll do you the 20." And I'm like, "I'm only doing 15. That's how much I expected to pay." I kind of made up like, "Oh, I need the rest of the money that I have in my hand for the hostel." And then he just let me walk away, surprisingly. I thought we were maybe going to... I don't know how the taxi rules work here. But anyways, ended up eventually downloading the app. And the app is super convenient. It was only $14. The person that I met was there super quick. He was probably waiting for pick someone up from the airport. Him and I had a decent conversation. He was an older gentleman, but just something that was really cool. I know 100% you should do this in America, and I think it's kind of expected back home. But the ride was $14, and I just had a 20 count of a euro, and I just gave him the whole 20. I'm just keep the change, man. And the look of elation on his face that the fact he got to keep whatever the extra few euros was like. It was just priceless to me. Just the fact that, it's just a small gesture, and like those little things, especially in a country like this where everything is relatively inexpensive because the incomes aren't that high. Every little bit counts. So I thought that was really cool. He was like offered to walk, take my bags up to the hostel, and I was like, "It's okay, man. I don't even know where it's at. I gotta find this place." So it took me a couple minutes. I kind of circled the block, and then eventually I did find it, and I'll show you guys a room tour of it. I'm really satisfied with it so far. Okay, so this is the room. Sorry, I didn't flip my ring light camera on the other side, so it's kind of dark in here, but maybe I'll re-record it in the morning. And this is also the first time I'm using my tripod setup. I didn't get to use it in New York. I'm not going to hold it up like this big old thing, but this is what I have. And yeah, so this is the bed. Excuse a little bit of messes that I've already made. And I bought this private room. I'll break down the cost after this, but it was really cheap because I booked it through Chase Travel. It was the only hostel that I was available to book, and I've heard really good reviews about this place. I am not a room tour type of person. But this is my favorite part. This is outside, and then this is Mother Teresa Boulevard, which is like the main walking kind of street in the city. So, look, someone's already staring at me as I'm recording up here. So yeah. Nice little space here, and then just a locker, cabinet type thing, and then I just left my bag there. I've been so exhausted, but yeah, this was only 47 euros in total, and I'll break down, like I said, in a little bit, how I only paid $47 for 4 nights. Yeah, so all said, even though there was some hiccups with the transiting today in Frankfurt, made it here safe and sound. I still can't believe that I'm here in the Balkans, specifically in Kosovo. The people here that I've just kind of met, even walking through the hostel, through the airports, everyone's been so kind. I even asked people like where ATMs were. She was kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. But this girl, she was like took her time to walk me over to like where the ATM was because it was kind of hidden in the airport. Just really sweet people. Like they just want to. I don't think even she knew I was American, maybe accent, but otherwise I think she just saw someone and just wanted to help. So I can definitely see the courtesy flowing through in a country like this. So I'm actually I'm awake because I did take a little bit of a sleep in both, like I said, the lounge and on the flight. So I'm actually gonna go out for a little bit. Nothing crazy. Probably won't even go out like do any bar type stuff. I'll probably just go eat. I'm very curious actually to try Burger King. Burger King is so advertised here. It's very interesting. I don't know what the Burger King marketing team back home, what their plan was, but it's advertises everywhere out here. So I might go try that, see if it's kind of like a McDonald's type thing, if they have anything specifically unique for the country. Probably not. People probably just like the novelty of having an American fast food joint here. But yeah, I'm gonna go out for a little bit. I'm so glad that the first thing I did was drop my bag off and I took a shower. So I just felt gross all day. That's the one, personally, my one major downside of traveling is just like the walking, the sweating, just like the gross, whatever just kind of you feel in your body all day. Don't like it. So that was the first thing I did, hop in the shower. Even the bathroom, I think it's technically shared. I don't know if there's any other people, maybe person in this room next to me. It's all private rooms, but bathroom was clean, the room's clean, the area's clean. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes. So this is what I'm going to wrap up for tonight. I'm not going to take my phone out and probably record anything, but tomorrow morning I'll get up and we'll explore the city. Peace, y'all.